Hi everyone. Today's video is going to be about installing and configuring Prowlarr. But first, what is Prowlarr? On Usenet, you're going to have a lot of indexers. It's going to be a mix of paid indexers and a mix of free indexers. If you want content and you want to search on all of the indexers, if you go one by one, for example, you go on this website, this indexers, you search, and you go on the next one and you search, and you go on the next one and you search, this can take up a lot of time and it's not really efficient. And that's where Prowlarr come into play. So I've set up all of my indexers into Prowlarr. If you go into search and you go to the bottom left and you search for something, for example, this, and you hit search, it's going to link up all of the results. So it's pinging all of your indexers and it's setting up right here. So this is a search aggregator. You can see you can rank by size, by the amount of grabs, and you have all your researcher instantly. And what is really great about this is you can also really quickly hit this button here and it's going to send those files to SAB. For example, I want this one, this one, this one, and this one, and I go to my SAB and they are sent and they are queued already and they are downloading. And this video will teach you how to achieve this, but you need a few things first. The first one is you're going to need a provider. You're going to need indexers. For example, those are all my indexers. Again, all of those don't need to be paid. You can have a few paid and a few free. And you're going to need a download client. So for example, you have SAB NZB, you have NZB get. I have SAB NZB in my demo, and I have a tutorial video how to install this if you don't already have it installed. So to install Prowlarr, the first thing you want to do is go into the Prowlarr official website. The link is going to be in the video description. You scroll down under Windows, you hit download. You go ahead and open this and execute the file. More info, run anyway. You can go ahead and click yes. On this page, you have a couple of choices to make. The first one is to leave this checked if you want a desktop shortcut. After that, you need to decide if you want Prowlarr to start automatically. If you want it to start automatically when Windows boot, you make sure that the first one is checked. If you want to start it manually, which is what I prefer, you check the last one, which says do not start automatically. You can go ahead and click next. This is going to be installing. And when this is done, you're going to reach this page. And you want to make sure that those two are checked and you want to click finish. And this will open Prowlarr automatically for you. Now, if for some reason this doesn't open, or if you close this by accident, what you can do at any moment when Prowlarr is running, you can go at the bottom right, there's an arrow, you click on this, you're going to see the Prowlarr icon, you can right click, and you can click on Launch Browser, and this will bring you here. Now about configuring Prowlarr, you're going to go ahead and click here, click Forms. You want authentication required, you want it to be enabled, and you're going to create a username and a password. I'm going to go ahead and do that for me. Once this is done, you have to remember your password because you'll need it for later. You can go click Save. So now Prowlarr is running. So as I said, if you accidentally close this, for example, you have everything closed, you can go on bottom right and you can right click and you can launch browser. It's going to bring you back where we were. It's going to be your username and the password that you've set. The next step is to add indexers to your Prowlarr. You can go ahead and click Add New Indexers. There's going to be a lot of choices. Those are mostly torrents. So what you want to do is go into top left, Protocol, click on this, and click NZB. Now there's a lot of indexers that are preset, but I'm going to show you the simplest way is to go ahead and you scroll down in the list, and you're going to want to find the one called Generic NewsNab. You go ahead and click this. Now you want to start filling in information about the indexer that you have. I will anonymize this, so I'm just going to call it indexer number 1, but you want to call it whatever the official name of your indexer is. For the next steps, both of those things need to be checked, and this need to be set to standard. And then you need to enter your URL and your API key. I will show you what they are. FYI, API key is very private. It's like your username and password, so you do not want to share it with anybody else. So how to find this information? You need to go into the indexer profile that you have. So for me, for example, I'm going to go into mine, and you can see that there is a lot of information, but you want to go into anything that is API information or something that looks like an URL. For me, it's this one. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, copy paste. I'm going to set it here. And for the API key, same page. This is going to be my account or my profile. And you're going to have an API key. You go ahead and copy paste it, and you set your API key. Now everything else you can leave as is, and you can click test. Once you see the green check, that means your test is successful, and you can click save. So now if we close this, we can see that you have an indexer added to your Prowlarr. As I said before, the strength of Prowlarr is to search many indexers at the same time. So you're going to go ahead and add as many indexers as you have. I'm going to do a second example here just to make sure that it's clear and simple. So I'm going ahead and clicking Add Indexer at the top left. Again, I'm going to go ahead and select NZB in the protocol, as I said before. I'm scrolling down and I'm looking for generic news nab. Clicking on this. This is the same page that we've seen before. I'm going to call it indexer number 2. Again, you want to call it the official name so you can easily find it later. For the information, I'm going to show you a second indexer that I have. So this is my profile on my second indexer. It's different, but again, all you're looking for is the URL and the API key. If we scroll down into my profile, we can see my URL is right here. You copy paste this. Oops, you copy paste this into URL. You go back to my profile, you have API key. I go ahead and select it, copy paste it, and put it here. So I'm using a generic NewsNab profile. What that means is you can add as many indexers as you want. All you need is the URL and the API key. If for some reason when you click test you have an error about tags, what you want to go is simply go here and type in movies. So I'm going to go ahead and click test. I have the green check, so this is good, and I can go ahead and click save. So now I have two indexers. I'm going to repeat the process, adding every indexer that I have, including the free ones, the paid ones, and the lifetime ones. Movie magic is done. I got my 4 indexer here. Let me put this a little bit bigger for now so they can see clearly. One thing that is extremely important to understand is priority. Okay, so when Prowlarr is going to ping your indexers, it's going to go with the priority. Number 1 being the highest, 99 being the lowest. So why priority matters is some indexers are going to be free, and those free indexers have a limit on how many search you can do on them every day. So what you want to do is keep those searches for very the niche content that wasn't available on any of the other paid indexers that you have. So to change priority, for example, on my free indexers, you go on the right side, you click the wrench. On the bottom, you have a cog with a red X. You click on that. This is going to unlock advanced features. You don't want to change anything. All you want to do is scroll down and you go into indexer priority. As I said, number 1 is the highest, 50 is the lowest, and 25 is the default. So on my free indexer here, I'm going to go ahead and put 40. And I'm going to click save. And you can see here that my indexer free is now at priority 40. The other thing I like to do about priority, it's a bit more advanced, but I suggest that you do it, is when it comes to indexers, the paid indexers, there's 2 ways. The first one is a lifetime indexers, and the second one is a yearly indexers. And when it comes to renew your yearly indexers, if you don't know how well they perform during the year, it's really hard to benchmark which one you want to keep and which one you want to renew. So if you have your yearly indexers up front, so on the highest priority, at the end of the years, you can look at the stats, how many stats were grabbed by your yearly indexers versus your other yearly indexers versus your lifetime. And this can give you a very good idea on which one you want to renew and which one you want to let go and save a bit of money. So what I will do here is I will put my yearly indexers. Again, I will click this. I will scroll down. This is already checked, so I can change my priority and I will put it at 10 and I will click save. And I will do this for my other yearly indexer. I go down and I put it at 10 and I save. So now your indexers are set up, and the next step is to show Prowlarr how to download the files that you want. You're going to go ahead and make sure that your downloader is online. So for me, I'm using SAB. For example, if you click on the bottom right and you don't see SAB into your open software, for example, it's shut down, so it's not here, you're going to go ahead and make sure that SAB is going to be running. So you go ahead and double click on SAB. It's up and running. It's perfect. You can go back on Prowlarr for the next steps. So to connect SAB, you're going to go on Settings. You're going to go on Download Clients. You can click here or here. And you're going to click the big plus here. Those are all the download clients available. We're going to go with SAB because this is the one that I got installed. Go ahead and click. And for this part, you need to input the information from SAB directly. So you're going to go on the bottom right, click on this, right click on your SAB, show interface. On your SAB interface, I'm just going to put this a bit bigger for now. On the top right, there's a cog. You click on it. This is all your information. On the top left, there's general. You click on that. And you can go ahead and scroll down a little bit. And here you have your API key. There's NZB key, API key. Make sure you select API key. You go ahead, select it, copy, and paste it here where it asks for API key. You go ahead and click test. If this makes this error here, default categories, what you want to do, it's written Prowlarr, that's a mistake. You want to overwrite this. You go ahead and just write movie here, and you click test again. You have the green check, that means everything's good, and you can click save. And most of my video is on SAB, but if you want to go with NZB-GET as a downloader, you simply click here, click NZB-GET. Once you're here, you're going to need a username and a password. This is extremely simple. You simply go into NZB-GET, you go into your settings, you go into security, you scroll down, you have your main password here, but you want to go in restricted username and restricted password. So for me, it's home server channel with a password. You want to click save all change, reload NZB-GET, and now we can go back to Prowlarr. Again, into this interface. On username, you're going to input the username you just created, the password you just created as well. And on default categories here, don't forget to type movies. This one, the M is a big M, it's a majuscule. You're going to test, and you're going to hit save. So now your SAB is linked to the Prowlarr. When we set up SAB, there was a lot of options. I'm not going in this video over all of those options, so just do exactly what I did, and it's going to work. A thing you have to remember is when you want to use Prowlarr, you want SAB and your Prowlarr to both be running, so both can work with each other's to give you the file that you want. And at the end, when you have your indexer and your downloader set up, like we just did, we're going to do a test. So what you do is you go on top left, you click search, you have your information here, you go to the bottom left, query. I'm just going to type an example, for example, this, and you're going to click search. And this should give you plenty of results of things that you can download. And again, you can simply rank by size, rank by grabs. and you can go ahead and click anything here that you want to download, and it's gonna send the NZB directly to your SAB. So if we go back to SAB on the top left, there's Home. Click on this, and you can see that the things that I've selected are linked to your SAB and are downloaded. And now you have a fully functional Prowlarr and SAB NZB setup, so you can search for all of your indexers at the same time and get the files that you need. The other thing I want to say is this was a quick setup on how to get you running Prowlarr and SAB together. I've covered Usenet indexers, and as of now, for beginners, I really suggest that you stay within the Usenet ecosystem. Later on, when you're more advanced, you can go ahead and add torrent indexer into the mix. But as I said, if you're beginning, I really suggest that you stay for Usenet for now. And the reason I say this is because torrent can be extremely good, but you need to manage a torrent downloading software with a VPN, with a kill switch, and that can be a little bit more advanced. Maybe this is going to be an upcoming video for me, but as of now, I suggest you stay on Usenet. And that's it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. This really helps me. If you enjoy this kind of content, look at my channel. I have plenty of interesting video about Usenet. And again, thank you for watching and the support, and have a great day. Bye bye.